do well in a tournament. And I mean, especially with a character like Villager, not very popular, right? It has very hard matchups against very common top tiers. So it can be the tough life for Villager. But BobbyWasabi out here making it work.
That jab, that's one of those things that randomly Villager has that's really good. The multi-jab and potential KO, the KO potential from that move. I remember the first time I died to that, like 100 off the side. It's like, Villager has that?
Oh, yeah. And the thing with Villager, it's so hard to, but you got to avoid some of these, like the bowling ball setups, right? The tree setups. As long as you force Villager to get reasonable percentage KOs on you, generally you should win.
Yeah, you're going to probably do okay. Villager, like you were saying earlier, some of the sets about playing your game, playing a certain way. Like, you know, Villager is one of those characters, wants to set up and play their specific game plan. Zero Suit has the tools, though, the speed to get in and say, nah, I know you're going to slingshot me a bunch, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to be able to just get in and get kills before you're able to get any of your silly kind of strange confirms on me.
Yeah, and that is one of the weaker things about Villager is just the return isn't high enough, but Bobby with the edge guard there, no tech on that down air, and Bobby with the straight commitment coming through there. I like that.
The aggressive option, and now that I'm seeing Bobby, I know I've heard of them, never actually seen them play. I'm just liking how kind of scrappy and aggressive the style from this Villager is. Just like, yes, obviously there's a lot of slingshot, but just a little bit less campy and zony than I'm used to seeing a lot of Villagers play. Like this, like just going in with these aggressive up airs, going in with that down air that secured the stock, making the character look aight.
Yeah, and I think that's where Bobby, ooh, and there it is, going to catch that Lloyd setup. There is a bit of startup.
Right.
And NaitoSharp with the back air to clean that stock up. Yeah, Bobby is not afraid to get down in personal and, you know, really just get up in your face with things like the axe, the jab, the grab, right? And Bobby knows that you can't really win out of, I mean, unless you go for timeout and stuff like that, which probably some matchups you do have to go for that, right? But for the most part, Bobby will weave in and out of mid-range, which I think gives him a lot of mix.
Absolutely. And getting the tree set up there with the bowling ball to try and control a lot of the stage. And someone... I am unsure what just happened. I'm sorry, Chad. There's just people going crazy right now. Looks like our local Min player took a game against someone. People chanting, "We love Min right now." And talking about the jab, the multi-jab there, getting locked in.
And this is very close here.
Yeah.
Bobby's sitting at 70%, 130. But this is good in a sense for Sharp, just because you're making Villager work very hard for this stock, right?
Absolutely.
No bowling ball, no tree. Oh, the very last hit, though. I wonder if that was just drop shield or a shield poke there. But nonetheless, Bobby able to steal out that stock. That's such a big deal for Villager particularly, where you don't have like a crazy amount of great stray hit moves that can get the KO that are necessarily safe, right?
Absolutely. And yeah, Villager playing from a lead is...
Oh my goodness.
The intelligence behind these bowling balls never has... Like, anyone that has been missed hasn't been punished because it was using to control space, and then throwing it out there in these kind of unexpected ways. And that move, God, does that move hurt. Both in terms of getting knockback, but just raw damage. It's looking really commanding right now for Bobby. And as I say that, just gets deleted by one of the best kill moves in the game, probably.
Yeah, he's going to call out the jump there with the up B. Going to get a bit of trading back and forth here. You just want to avoid that nair into the flip kick. Oh, my goodness.
Spike.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Still living, though.
Okay, this is Villager. Can you get another one? Oh, and you are going to SD and just barely missing that. But the right idea was there from Sharp. But you saw a little bit of the juke coming out from Bobby. You have, especially you have both balloons, you can kind of juke back and forth, kind of like an Olimar recovery, right? Where you kind of
got some
shimmy.
Some time, and you got some, yes, it's exploitable and it's spikeable, but you do have a lot of resources to work with, right? Mobility, you're not just dropping like a stone real fast. It's like budget raw, not, budget rob kind of. You get to move around a bit, and that shimmy there if we're going to use a little aerial Street Fighter term,
the shims,
the shims just got him in a bit of an uncharacteristic SD, but just got to shake that off. Overall, Naito was getting a lot of good off-stage options, and yeah, that's just a shake it off the dust cobwebs moment and keep going with your game plan. And untouched so far.
Yeah, Zero-Suit with this mobility, going to be able to weave around and really, I mean, weave around the fair and the bear, right? Those are the main kind of zoning tools that you're working around against Villager here. So once you're able to get through that area, you're able to get up and personal against Villager. It's usually going to be pretty great for you here. Getting chipping away here. Almost feels like Mega Man pellets, right?
Yeah.
Great range, but
great option. Really a totally different pace of game, and just there has been some partial download at least, because I mean, barely getting touched and styling on him now. I mean, 23%, almost an unanswered stock.
Yeah, yeah.
We need to see some adaptation from Bobby.
I love the Plasma Whips off stage coming out from Sharp as well. The Plasma Whip.
Yeah.
Then you're going to go into the down B, just cover so many different options here. Sharp going a lot harder off stage. I mean, to be fair, Sharp did go hard off stage. Just messed it up on that very last stock. But I like that, even though I feel like a lot of players, they'll mess up a situation like that. I mean, I'm not going to go off stage.
Not confident anymore.
Right, exactly. You don't want to lose too much confidence, because that is what Zero-Suit should be doing against Villager. And Sharp keeping to the game plan, and it is working out here. Again, the Nair flip kick. Great DI coming out from Bobby, not getting hit by that spike of the hitbox.
Just really showing how good the Zair is in that burst range mode when you're kind of close enough.
Ooh.
Dang, just getting deleted. It's like the anti-slingshot, because yes, slingshot can come out and pick you apart a little bit, but the Zair coming through consistently before the slingshot can even come out, really kind of almost invalidating the slingshot to a degree.
Okay, grab going to get punished here. The axe is not quite enough. Sets the Lloyd up. Going for that low recovery. Tries to get the up smash, but Bobby not going to connect the fireworks. Tries to go for the 4th of July once again. Ooh, going deep for this edge guard, but look at that. Bobby just stalling underneath the stage and really maneuvering around, in the up smash finally connects here for Bobby.
Getting that first stock on the board, very, very much needed, but bit of a hill to climb. And the momentum has just really, really been in NaitoSharp's corner pretty much this whole time. Not able to get as much of the setups that we've seen. Although, with that being said, maybe getting something going here. Nice up smash.
Catching the jump. Bobby slowly but surely tacking on some of this damage on the Sharp here. 72 and counting, chipping away. But it is Sharp with the entire stock lead here. Wow.
I thought that was, the tree is... Man, that thing does a lot of damage. I thought that was going to actually hit Naito, but I don't know enough about the tree hitbox to see exactly how that works.
Oh, and just like that, Sharp paying too much attention to the tree there and not too much attention to the Villager with the axe in hand.
Yeah, the murderous axe murderer, and it's a last stock situation. Absolutely in kill percent here. Up B at the side, or maybe even just anywhere like slightly high up, is just going to kill Bobby. But anything's possible here. Let's see if maybe Bobby can get a reversal with one of those down airs.
Okay, trying to zone out with the Zair here. Flip jump, up and over. The tree is set up. The axe is online. Okay, look at this, chipping away. All this chip damage is going to start to matter here pretty soon if Bobby's going to able to rack up even more percent here. Another obstacle to the tree right in the center of the Pokeball here.
Yeah, really intelligent way to just kind of slow the game down, acknowledge the fact that, hey, I can play a little campy, and when I'm behind like this, why not just take a step back? I don't want to box with a character that's some of the best CQC options in the game. Scrambling, though. Not afraid to scramble either.
All of these trades. Oh, the bowling ball after the Lloyd. That could have been the game there. Bobby going for some plays here. The directional air dodge is going to get caught, though, so close. And, man, that was down to the wire. That was looking like Bobby was about to get 3 stocked. But Bobby just brought it back and made it so difficult for Sharp to get the KO.
Absolutely. And could you educate me and maybe some of the viewers in chat about the dynamic of the tree, because I think a lot of people don't know how the tree and the axe works in terms of planting it and then how it comes out. I'm always so, like, once tree's planted, you have access to axe. I saw him, it looked like he did a pivot cancel F-tilt axe. Like, I don't know if you know anything about, like, how the axe works.
Pretty sure you can B-reverse the axe.
Interesting.
I think. I'm pretty sure you can. And once the axe is out, essentially you just have access to, instead of the watering can, you have the axe, right? And then, you know, 2 chops on either side will have the tree come down, and it's an item priority hitbox. So you can actually, like, mash against the tree, and you can beat out the tree. But it's just, it lingers for so long, right?
Right. I've seen some of those situations where the tree hitbox, like, because of the interaction, it stays alive and active for, like, forever. Right. And then people get hit by it because they're like, oh, I thought it was done. Right,
yeah, it has, it's a super long lingering hitbox as it's coming down, you know, when it hits the ground, all that stuff.
All right, we're seeing what happens.
Oh, tried to go for the classic.
Yeah, I think that was dead. Even with these blast zones, that move.
Oh, almost getting the return flip kick. That probably would have got the stock here. Only going for the single jab, taking on even a little bit more damage. Bobby looking kind of optimal out here. Hold up.
Nice parry. Oh, jab facing the wrong way. You know, for someone who doesn't have very good boxing options, Bobby doing, man, I mean, that's what happens when you're in close quarters. Like, Zero Suit can just out-frame data you and just get you off the side with a confirm like that. But Bobby doing his best.
Oh, yeah, and it's crazy because you want to set up Lloyd in those situations, but Sharp definitely coming in with these very hard punishes on the Lloyd. And we saw how great Bobby's defense is in general, right? So being able to get that stock at 110, 120% right off the edge of the stage here, very big deal. We are on Town and City, so these side blast zones are going to be a bit smaller.
Seeing if we can get a platform situation. I don't know if there was some thought process there, just going up there on the platform to escape. I'd be a little afraid against ZSS just being on those top platforms just because I don't know how early boost kick is going to kill, but pretty early, especially if you get hit off the side like you were mentioning with these blast zones. Oh, ooh. Nice jab block.
Right now, Sharp is playing so well against these Lloyds, either during the setup or while they're out, but the up smash coming through here for BobbyWasabi. The fireworks is going to get the job done here. Tree is out, taking a bit of damage here. Okay, just going to back up, respect it. Yeah, and at this point, Sharp playing so careful around the tree, right? Seeing a lot of Zairs, we're seeing a lot of plasma whips.
Zair just really doing so much in this matchup. Really, I mean, I know it's a good tool, but especially here, just being able to invalidate some of that mid-range.
Again, wow, playing around the Lloyd.
Yeah.
So many situations, either Bobby feels safe to set up the Lloyd or feels safe to come in with the Lloyd, and Sharp is just overlapping the hitboxes on top and being able to destroy the Lloyd, not even maybe take a trade or something, but as long as you're hitting Villager, that's the main thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, ZSS, not exactly a character that wants to take a ton of trades, quite light, but if you're just as confident and precise as Naito has been with these kind of Lloyd interactions like that, was untouched there in terms of taking the stock and just like jumping in over the Lloyd there, just perfectly getting in with that nair or that fair, just really showing that maybe played a couple villagers in the Wi-Fi era, maybe a little experience in the matchup.
Ooh, okay, there's the forward tilt and the directional air dodge. Trying to get a parry. Oh,
yeah,
and that is going to be it. And Sharp very convincingly taking game number 3 again, playing so well around the Lloyd. Every time Bobby wants to either set up the Lloyd or come in with the Lloyd, especially around that offstage situation where you're kind of by the ledge, feel a little bit safe to kind of just set that up. Sharp has been striking every single time there and being able to get so many stocks in that particular situation.
Do you think that, like, at this point, because I think the Lloyd has been effectively invalidated, do you change up your game plan as Bobby? Like, is Villager able to adjust their game plan to not include Lloyd? Like, I mean, is that even possible for the character?
There's definitely situations where instead of going for the Lloyd, you can just go straight for the ledge. You can go for a fair poke instead, maybe something a little bit more safe. But it's essentially just that when you set up Lloyd, the situation afterwards is so good for you that it's very tempting, right? And obviously you don't want to completely not do any Lloyd. Oh, and that's it.
What a
wow,
dare.
off the wall jump.
What a call out. And that, you know, the Villager dare, pretty good, pretty big, beefy hitbox. Awesome, just, you know, just a slingshot situation to kind of carry.
Oh, man, what an answer back. The Nair into the flip kick. Sharp coming out and striking.
Yeah, what a scrappy back and forth. Again, for a character, we have a Villager who goes in Washington for timeouts, or at least just consistently has really long games.
Right.
What a scrappy match for a character that typically people associate with slower zoning play. Really, you know, maybe doesn't have the tools typically to engage close quarters with Zero Suit, but Bobby making it work as best he can, keeping it real close here.
Oh, the boost kick. Out. Not going to completely connect here, but, man, this game is so close. Only about 30% difference from both of our competitors here. Delayed aerials coming in on shield. The Lloyd set up. Man, again, Sharp. Feels like the Lloyd doesn't even exist against Sharp. Zero Suit has so much mobility. You can either just hit it, maneuver around it, right?
Yeah, I'm really seeing the only times that Bobby's able to kind of get something started is when we're landing with the, or just axe murder him, but landing those slingshots, that seems to be the only thing that Naito's still getting clipped by. Like, can't remember the last time he got hit by a Lloyd. It's either getting, like you said, evaded, shielded, or just straight up hit.
Ooh, double up air not going to connect. Had triple turnips on both of them there. Okay, this is so close. Game number 4. Can Bobby force this game 5 situation versus Sharp? This would be a crazy upset if Bobby's able to take it over Sharp here.
These axes just really get great placement with that, and adding a threat of a early kill tool that Naito does have to respect. You always kind of just forget about it sometimes. Like, oh yeah, this little guy's an axe murderer. He'll get you.
Yeah, and I mean, we haven't even seen the bowling ball for quite some time. I think Bobby might be saving it for a clutch moment here. Goes for the axe on the reverse here. Tree is going to be out of the question there. Out of shield, sets up for another one. Man, so close. This is intense.
Looking, nice coverage there with the slingshot, because that looked like that was a situation where looking for the back air or potentially even a flip kick spike, but just keeping Naito off of him. Needs to get back from this edge guard, though.
And look at this, Bobby
adapting. Down air again.
Down air. That was so swift coming out from Bobby. And you notice Bobby started setting up the Lloyds farther off the stage.
Right.
And that's such a big deal because there's so many situations where Sharp was able to get the stocks when Bobby was setting up the Lloyds really close to the ledge. But you see just so far distance, Bobby really respecting those scenarios.
Absolutely. And just, yeah, setting up a zone where he's actually able to recover and get those kind of reversals. Bobby, just from what I've been seeing from his play overall, just a lot of the stocks he's taking just come out of nowhere. They're like these singular axe hits, these reversals. And like it's a slow and steady game plan, and then all of a sudden you're just dead. And it's just like you're not even getting fair trained off the ledge, which I'll see villagers do sometimes. Just this volatile ability to know when the situation is right to go for one of those kind of reversals. And now that reversal ability has brought us to game 5. And let's see what the counter pick is. Small battlefield.
A small battlefield here. Game 5 situation going down to the wire. And I mean, I would imagine Zero Suit has the advantage in this matchup just because you have so much maneuverability, but Bobby playing the matchup so well here.
Definitely Villager, one of those characters who, like you mentioned earlier, has a lot of not great matchups, and most people kind of peg them just solidly in the kind of middle-ish, low, mid, I don't know, somewhere in that middle zone. But like they have enough stuff, and they have enough ability to reverse on you and do some silly things that, they can be an issue. But also, it's an issue when you're just getting dumpstered into the blast zone by flip kick. Yeah,
and the Nair flip kicks, not too many of them have been getting that spike hitbox, but now's the time for them to start working. If you are Sharp, you are living good right now. The Nair flip kick connects. It's a very early stock. That's best case scenario for Zero Suit, right? Getting that Nair flip kick around that mid percent. It's pretty much the only time you're going to see Zero Suit get extremely early stocks like that. Oh, man, look at this up air juggle. All that damage.
And I wonder if it's potentially on Bobby to DI correctly to avoid those flip kicks, like the spikes, or if there's that percentage window where the flip kick spike hitbox is true. I'm not sure if that's actually like an interaction where it's just an execution check for Naito, or it's, you know, DI dependent.
Ooh, and look at that. Yeah, the Plasma Whip so safe in the corner. The Lloyd set up. Going to give Bobby a little bit of room to kind of come back and try to claim center stage. But again, NaitoSharp with this mobility moving all around all of these options. Bobby is having a tough time getting out of the corner. Still finds his home there. Goes for the edge guard, and Sharp nailing it back to back here. First and second stock, all in control of Sharp.
The flow chart that Sharp has been able to figure out here in terms of being able to go off aggressively with that whip and then just come back comfortably to stage while threatening that spike and often landing it. Just really oppressive offstage play, and at this point, it is not looking good for Bobby. Although, remember game one? It looked exactly like this, and Bobby was able to bring it very, very close to coming back. So really just needs to not get hit anymore and take this stock very, very soon to stay in this game.
Sharp's movement is looking clean this game 5. Just moving around all these different options. The air mobility coming out from Zero Suit. Really good hops as well. Bobby trying to make some guesses here, trying to take some gambles on some of these smash attacks. Not really working out, though, and just waiting it out. Tries to go for the flip kick, but just able to reset back into this corner situation where Bobby hasn't really found an answer, but finally the bowling ball off the platform.
And, yeah, that option, kind of a bit of a Hail Mary, going to find its mark here, but we're at 118. Oh, and
okay,
I think living?
Take that one balloon.
Living, my goodness.
Yeah, maybe the kick would have done it, but maybe just a tad mishap there coming out from Sharp. Not going to get the kick. Still, I mean, a ton of damage, and you have such a crazy lead. And
up throw is going to take it.
Yeah, instant up throw there. Going to take it. Villager, not the heaviest character.
Yeah, I think
probably still